main purpose of this video and the associated mini quiz is to encourage everybody to have a look at the YouTube playlist and maybe even at some of the materials available on our main Blackboard page. I know that going through the gradebook is an efficient way to use Blackboard, especially when we have something kind of new like Ultra, but I want to make sure that you're able to use everything available here. So first of all, I noticed as I was looking at my phone, and I try to make everything accessible to phone so that you can do the work on your phone if necessary. Sorry, I was trying to grab a photo that I took a screenshot of, because I noticed with my phone that if I'm answering the discussions, I can push the little microphone. It's a trick I learned from my children, and answer your posts and have it voice transcribed. The reason I did that in the discussion where you asked me a question, and I'm sorry, I have to put these in a better order. I don't know how they got quite so crazy. The reason I did that in the ask a question discussion is because I have a problem now with my shoulder and my hand, and I'm not really able to type without a lot of pain. So I thought I could give more thorough answers by using the voice. However, if you look at some of these answers, the voice transcription lacks punctuation, and it's kind of stream of consciousness. It's so it can look a little crazy. So I hope you can just read it out loud and figure out what I meant. Let's see. Nope, that's still one that I typed, but I just got to where I couldn't type. Yes, I do believe this is one of the examples of using the voice transcription. I encourage you, though, to use the voice transcription. And I want to emphasize that I did not use, what is it called, a chat bot or AI to answer these. I just recorded my voice. So it looks somewhat crazy in some of the replies. I learned a couple of interesting things. The Taylor Swift song, The Man, and this Maisie Peters song, The History of Man, are both kind of intriguing. So my reply to that post, however, is really difficult to read in its stream of consciousness. So the goal in this discussion of asking me a question is to model a dialogue, a way of learning in which we talk back and forth to each other. And therefore, I asked almost everybody questions so that you can return, look at my answer. I apologize that it took forever. It's largely due to this injury. And then answer my question, that I posed for you in my reply, so that I know that you read my reply. But you brought up a lot of interesting things, and I do really appreciate that. I also noticed that, whoopsie, logged out of Blackboard. Pardon me. I also noticed that the order of everything that I had uploaded to Blackboard was a little crazy, and the discussions were all over the place, and some of the folders for the end of the semester were in the Getting Started folder. I think somebody messes with my Blackboard account. I can't figure out why these things happen. So what I tried to do was make the discussions available in proximity on the homepage to the lessons to which they refer. So what I would like you to do is go back to that ask me a question and do the replies, and pay attention in the discussions to whether I ask you to reply to classmates. I do believe that that's a requirement in the introduce yourself, and that's just to get us used to talking to each other about the topics as if we're in a classroom together. So thank you for putting up with my somewhat long video. If you notice in the course content that there are any errors, go ahead and email me or let me know right away. All of these quizzes are supposed to be multiple attempts, and you're supposed to be able to see the answers so that you can write them down and save them if you would like to for the first test. So they're more of a study guide than they are something to make you crazy. And if we look at the grade book, which I mentioned is something many people use to access course materials, usually that will work. But for example, there is a folder about the paper that has much more information that I think you'll find useful. And in the orchids discussion, I don't have a link, unfortunately, to the orchids movie. But if you want to remind me to put things in there like that, just to save you time, it probably would be a good idea. So let me know if you have any questions or any concerns. Remember that the due dates are recommendations, and you can always go back and finish up anything, reply to a post to get the extra points. And if I don't regrade it, for example, with the question about where you ask me a question, if you answer and I don't regrade it, just send me an email. It's no problem. I'm happy to have reminders. Have a great week.